be talking about the revolution of internet and our vision and what we can do about it and what we are doing in this respect. Let me begin by a quote that I sort of remember from Shoghi Effendi. You may recall from the writings of Shoghi Effendi that approximately 75 years ago, before World War II, he indicated that soon a medium of communication would be invented where people of the world can communicate with one another and governments cannot interfere. This was before we had computers. That's what he foresaw. And that day is now, right? When I was growing up, we didn't have computers. And I was teaching college when we had basic elementary computers. It was only 1990s when we started email, right? 1990s, like 20 years ago. And then of course today, with the advent of YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all that, it's an amazing world. What none of us could foresee as to how we can teach, how we can spread the message of Baha'u'llah. It's just an amazing world. And I'm going to tell you about my experience of basically the past year. What has happened? I have an account. I have two accounts on YouTube. One is my full name. If you just go to YouTube and say Iraj Khodadoost, one word. Iraj Khodadoost. It's where all my recordings are with regard to the faith and some other stuff. And there's another one, also on YouTube, Khodadoost, also one word. This is mainly for teaching English to friends who come from Iran and other countries of the world. And not only that, that's the beginning part of it, like 36 lessons. Then I have the whole Ruhi Book 1 there. And then beyond that, it is Introduction to the Baha'i Faith and some other what they call advanced readings. So if you get a chance and can go through them or orient your friends to it, it'd be probably a good thing. Now, I'll tell you, I'll begin with sharing with you what I have on my introductory page on this, which basically introduces myself as well and introduces what this site is all about. It says, I'm a retired professor. I have traveled the world extensively. I believe that through dialogue and interaction, we can learn that we're all members of the same family. That borders are man-made, that there is no reason for hostility and division, that religions are chapters of the same book, that if religion results in hostility and division, having no religion is better than having any religion at all. That through continuous search for truth, we can bring peace and tranquility to our troubled world. That no one can claim to know the nature of God. Thus, when you translate God to goodness, atheists, agnostics, and theists may stop bickering among one another. That's basically what I said. And then some people who just read this paragraph, they ask me questions, and we connect. And also on the opening page, I have a poem that is said, and also with pictures so that people can relate to it. It's a 2-minute poem. This is what this poem is that I wrote like 10, 15 years ago. And the purpose of it, that was just like an inspiration, is on the notion, on the philosophy that we have of the oneness of humankind. But this is my way of saying it. The title of it is What We Believe. What we believe. You believe in God, I believe in the mystery of our existence. You believe in heaven. I believe in sublimity of the skies. You believe in angels. I believe in magnificence of the stars. You believe in Noah. I believe in the power of the oceans. You believe in Abraham. I believe in the need for sacrifice. You believe in Krishna. I believe in harmonious thoughts. You believe in Moses. I believe in majesty of the mountains. You believe in Zoroaster, the Persian prophet. I believe in good thoughts and good deeds. This was their mantra. Good thoughts and good deeds. You believe in Buddha. I believe in the purifying power of water, the essence of cleanliness and absolute purity. You believe in Jesus. I believe in gentility of the human heart. You believe in Muhammad. I believe in the need for sacrifice. I said I believe in Muhammad. I believe in the need for justice. That's what I wrote. And finally, you believe in Baha'u'llah. I believe in the oneness of the human race. Methinks you both believe in the same things, if you only knew it, if you dared to admit it, if you had the passion to embrace it. Now, this short poem touches many people's hearts. I have received more comments on this short 2-minute video than on all of my other videos combined. Some people say that this is the way I have always wanted to think, but I could not put it into words. Some people say that this short poem healed my mind, and I connected to the whole universe. Some people said, the person said, I can sleep comfortably tonight. My mind is healed. So, the world is our stage, and it's an amazing opportunity to teach. And my vision into teaching and connecting to the human race has also, I should say, is modified and changed through this amazing experience. I modified my thinking from the idea of teaching to more learning, to more connecting, to more truly becoming one with the human race. Through not remaining arrogant and thinking that I know and others don't know. I remembered more than ever and internalized the words of Abdu'l-Baha, where Dr. Esselman quotes him in his book, Baha'u'llah and the New Era, you may recall. He says, there are many who have not even heard of the word Baha'i or Baha'u'llah, but they have understood the inner meaning of the purpose of this cause. They have not even heard of the word Baha'i or Baha'u'llah. I've come across thousands of people of that nature. And then he continues, and there are also those who may claim that they're Baha'is for 50 years, but they have not totally understood the message. That's what Abdu'l-Baha says. I've come across people who have not heard the word Baha'i, but they're much better Baha'i than I am. You must listen. I'm going to share with you some of their words. I've been touched so much, and I've cried so much just sitting and listening and seeing what kind of human beings there are in this universe, and how I should learn to become like them, not try to make them like me. And I thought that when I do it, when I start on that path, then I can teach, I can learn. Then I can become one with the universe, with the divine and the master of the universe. Let me also share with you a second poem that I wrote and I posted, and it also connects to people from all different nations. It's called World Traveler. We traveled the world, you and I. We explored the lands far and wide. We began our journey from Persia. You saw hate, I saw despair. We drove to Saudi Arabia. You saw fanaticism, I saw want of faith. We went to Italy. You saw embezzlement, I saw unsettlement. Then we flew to the United States. You saw whites, I saw sisters. You saw blacks, I saw brothers. You saw Hispanics, I saw fathers. You saw Persians, I saw mothers. You saw Indians, I saw people. Then I paused, and I saw what you saw, and you saw what I saw. Our thoughts wove together, and we became whole once more. I send it to people of different nationalities across the globe, and they also connect and understand the meaning of the oneness of the human race. Next, I want to share with you a few passages that have been, on your opening page, you call the channel page, people can post whatever they want. And when they see the loving language, their language also becomes loving, both from what I post and from what others post. And that by itself provides an amazing healing in the universe. Positive thoughts. It's just like a magnet, as Baha'u'llah says in book 1. I'm going to share with you, I wanted to choose from these almost 700 posts on my channel page. I wanted to choose some and share with you, so I tried to choose 9. All of them are beautiful, but I'm going to share with you 9 from these 9 angels. The first one is his name is Rab Adamson, a truly holistic and divine person. This is his last post for me on this channel page. He says, "We are the family of light. We are divine love embodied. We are the bringers of truth. We are shattering all illusions. We are here to connect and unite. We are here to empower. We are here to resurrect. We are here to guide and assist. We are here to share and dare. We are here of loving service. We are powerful and unlimited. We are brave and unstoppable. We are self-responsible. We are God's infinite light. We are co-creator beings. We are the ascension pioneers. We are the cosmic destiny. We are the shift. I love you, Rab Adamson." And here is a beautiful passage from another friend from Greece. By the way, so far I've connected to 1,300 people. Do you know they say that we meet during our lifetime, we live to be 70 or 80, 2,500 people on the average. We come across 2,500 people. From these 2,500 people, probably about 10% of them, we get a chance to shake hands and say hello, say who you are, and all that. And from that 10%, perhaps there's 10% that we connect. We go and visit, we call. So that's probably 20 or 25. So, but now, this universe, because of the internet, has expanded. So far I've connected 1,300 people. that either I've found these mystics, these divine people, or they have found me. It's very hard to keep track of 1,300 people. But what I do, I try to focus on 4 of them a day and send to 4 of them a passage from the hidden words. A passage from the hidden words. O Son of Spirit, my first counsel is this: possess a pure, kindly, and radiant heart, that thine may be a sovereignty ancient, imperishable, and everlasting. What a God. And it touches people's hearts, right? So I just put it posted on the channel page, and then 1 or 2 come back and say, who is this from? Tell me more about it. And so that becomes the way of teaching. So 4 days. So it takes a year or so to just to write all of the 1,300. But 4 a day, I just post a passage. And then once a week, from those who respond, from those who connect, from those who understand, like this gentleman, Rab Adamson, or the second one I'm going to tell you one read. Aphrodite is her name. Aphrodite is a Greek goddess, isn't it? I don't know whether this is the name she goes by or her real name. And then so once a week, I get up early in the morning. I focus, from the 1,300, I focus on about 10%, 130, who have connected more, and then focus on one of them early in the morning, meditate on that person, and send him a prayer. Send him a prayer. Create in me a pure and kindly and radiant heart. And so on. And then invariably that person responds. And her mind becomes even gentler and kinder. And we connect. We've not seen each other, but become the closest of friends. The closest of friends. And then in this world of cyberspace, we wish that the world becomes like that. That our conversation becomes like that. That we become truly like that. And the world will be a different world. Right? So this is what my beloved, beautiful Aphrodite, that I don't know who she is, has written to me in her last message. She says, where was it? Passages that I want to read. She says, how deeply touched I am with your divine essence. Oh, God forbid. I guess she sees the word of Baha'u'llah. This is my beloved Iraj. What a great gift for me to be here feeling you, knowing you, remembering you again. What an amazing gift God has sent me. Your glorious presence uplifts my heart and soul and brings shivers to my whole being. Blessed you are, my beloved Iraj, and much more blessed I am for embracing you and loving you in my heart. The language of love, right? Yeah. Absolute purity. You sense an absolute purity in this person who, in the process of feeling the divine, seeing the words of Baha'u'llah, seeing the words of all other manifestations of God, has become divine in essence. That we are. That we all are. We are all divine in essence. This other person has given me a quote from Deepak Chopra. The possibility of stepping into a higher plane is quite real for everyone. It requires no forced effort or sacrifice. It involves little more than changing our ideas about what is normal. This is from another beautiful soul, Diana. I don't know where she is. May the sun shine in your heart every day, and peaceful stillness caress your mind. May the world greet your presence for being the radiant light that you are. I love you, Diana. I found a lot of lovers, that's wonderful. But that's the language of love, everyone can become like that. And our conversation elevates to the language of love and the language of oneness. And then here is my wonderful Brendan from Florida, who was touched by the words of Baha'u'llah so much that he wanted to post the hidden words on his site as well. First was touched by that passage from the hidden words, and then ultimately he embraced the faith. So now he quotes me from the hidden words and posted on my channel page, and that's the last one that he posted. May the sun shine in your heart every day, and peaceful stillness caress your mind. And then he says from the hidden words, magnify my cause, that I may reveal unto thee the mysteries of my greatness, and shine upon thee with the light of eternity. And he says, my dear friend, I've been thinking of you and will connect to you soon, my dear professor. Much peace, love, and light. And so on. So he just has written kind of a letter. This other one, I'm going to share with you a couple more, says, love, blessing be with you. I love you, beautiful, divine spark of creation that you are. I love you eternally. So that becomes the language. I guess all of our language should become like that, right? When we talk to each other, when we see each other, when we shake hands. The language of love. That's all there is to it. I'm going to share with you a couple more, maybe one more. This one says, I value you with immense love. I have tremendous respect for your beautiful and graceful existence. You are a spark of perfection on all levels of being. The love and light within your heart shines with a luminous and radiance glow. You are a gentle, attentive, loving soul. I feel embarrassed sometimes to read it, but it's just their language. That's the divine language. I thank you for your presence here. Love is the most powerful energy in all of creation. It can be felt in the depth of your soul. Thank you for gracing me with your love. And so on. So that is the language of love. Then, of course, like email, but through YouTube, you have a means of correspondence. And every day I receive an average of 5 or 6 emails, mostly inquiries from individuals. Or sometimes they just want to share a video or a message that they share. And I take the time to read every one of them carefully. Sometimes they write, sometimes they have a lot to say, a lot on their mind. I've received 10-page emails, and I feel committed to read them carefully and to respond carefully. This 10-page letter was actually from an individual in England, whose name is Mary, and who had apparently had heard about the Baha'i faith and had seen something, but then through our correspondence she started reading and would just write page after page and question after question on the 7 values and the 4 values and the Book of Certitude. And so in the course of 1 or 2 months, she had read more than many of us read. It's just, all that is so touching. I just cannot put it down and say that I'll just give her a 1-paragraph response. I have to read all of it. Somebody who, after a couple of months, has read the whole Book of Certitude and just wants to share it again through email. You can't put it down, you have to read it. So her name was Mary. So, and this fellow that I just told you, Brandon, I want to share with you one of his letters and one of my letters, shorter one. He says, finally, I would like to say that as I watched the video on Baha'u'llah, that particular teaching goes more with my own beliefs. It seems as if that is what I'm living, to be honest. We are all one, and all the scriptures are indeed of divine. Religious divides are not meant to be. Indeed, I do believe all of that. I absolutely believe it. We cannot achieve peace through conflict and divide. If one would just truly see, God's love is truly blissful and always unconditional. My experience in the light taught me of such divine love and peace everlasting. I'm going to show you just one response, the response that I gave to this gentleman who finally declared his faith in Baha'u'llah. One of my initial correspondence with him. Told him I was exhilarated in reading your beautiful and heartfelt email. It does not surprise me that what I've shared with you has indeed been part of your belief system all along. And I repeated what I just told you. Baha'u'llah states that there are those who claim that they are Baha'is and may not understand the real vision and mission of the Baha'i faith. And there are those who may not have heard the word Baha'i but believe it in their bones and souls. You're obviously of the latter group. However, I encourage you to contact the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of the United States, where the primary temple of the Baha'is in North America is located, and officially enroll in the faith. The response from the Baha'is is threefold. Deepen in the essential verities of the Baha'i faith, what Baha'u'llah calls the ocean of my words. Be abiding by the laws of the faith, such as fasting, prayers, and meditation, and reading the holy writings for self-purification and inspiration. And see engaging in teaching the faith through practice of those tenets and sharing them with whoever is receptive. Baha'is consider all people as members of the same family, but those who truly understand his mission have the extra responsibility of joining the faith and promoting it until we have heaven on earth. It won't be handed down to us, as I'm sure you know. We have to work on it continuously, tirelessly, and systematically. With loving Baha'i greetings, your brother and servant in his cause, Iraj. So it becomes a loving correspondence. And although off and on I hear a little complaint from Shahnaz, my wife, you're spending too much time on the internet. But you guys defend me in this respect. I'm going to open it up for discussion in a few minutes. But let me also conclude by the last poem that I wrote that was inspired mainly from the seven values, because the last value of the seven values is absolute nothingness. And we become absolutely nothing in his path. We want to be one. If we absolutely become nothing in his path and devote ourselves to the service of this cause and the human race and oneness of the humankind, you receive blessings after blessings that is just sometimes hard to believe. I call this the price of reunion. And I just posted it, and a lot of people connect to it. If the price of reunion is death, I'm here to accept the penalty. If the price of reunion is to turn into ashes, I'm here to light the fire. If the price of reunion is to lose oneself completely, I'm here to embrace it. Doesn't the honeybee work all day long for the pleasure of the queen? Doesn't the ant carry the load all along to satisfy the female ant? Isn't it the moth that keeps revolving around the candle until the candlelight extinguishes? Isn't it the moth again that keeps turning and turning around the candlelight until it gives its light, until it gives its life to the light? In that gyration, let me turn, dance, sing, move and burn until I turn into ashes. until I become utterly extinguished, until I become nothing. Only then, love and love alone would live forever. I also share, because I love Rumi and Baha'u'llah loved Rumi. You know Rumi, the Persian poet? They call it Maulana, 13th century poet, who was a master of this divine unity. And all of his poems deal with that. If you have not yet read his poems, I encourage you to get one of his books and read it. Baha'u'llah loved him. He quoted him 22 times in the 7 valleys and 4 valleys. So I'm going to conclude with one of Rumi's poems, if I can remember it. As I read this short poem, remember that he's saying that we are divine in origin, in essence, and if we live the life of purity and prayer and devotion, we also ultimately connect with the Master of the Universe and become one with Him. He says, by day I praised you and never know it. By day I praised you and never know it. By night I stayed with you and never know it. I always thought I was me, but no, I was you and never know it. Let me say it one more time, so you can also remember. By day I praised you and never know it. By night I stayed with you and never know it. I always thought I was me, but no, I was you and never know it. Thank you so much. And now it's time for dialogue. Any thoughts that you, dear friends, like to share? Well, you're thinking, on this YouTube channel, I have, I think, 6 groups of videos. One group are these short poems. That is mostly, they connect with these poems. One group are lectures. I have a series of lectures on mysticism, on world order Baha'u'llah, on globalism of the Baha'i faith, economics and Baha'i faith, politics and the Baha'i faith. And then there's a series of videos which are touching, wonderful videos that I've asked my other friends to allow me to upload it so more people can enjoy.